Hi guys, John here again. I want to do a rundown on narcissistic personality disorder. There are people that we run into. They say, "Well, oh, you're looking at everybody. Everybody's a narcissist." Well, these people just don't understand. In actual fact, approximately half of the people have been damaged in some way or other by narcissism. They're just not aware of it. One psychiatrist I was reading about did a study on thousands of patients, and his conclusion was that 97% of people just don't think, period. So we only have like 3% that are actual thinkers. And I'm not putting myself in that particular category, but it's just the fact that I had read this. And back to narcissistic personality disorder. A child, when they grow up, the first 5, 6, up to 7 years of their development is a training period. This is where their minds are set to what kind of personalities they are going to have for the rest of their lifetime. So the child that is brought up and isn't cared for at all, isn't loved, is treated cruelly, maybe not fed properly, ignored, abused. The child that has never learned love because they've never been loved, that child most likely will grow up to be a narcissist, because love is something that you learn. You can't just know what love is. It's something that you learn when you're loved. That's how you learn what love is. But in the situation where a person brings a child up, and especially a narcissist parent who doesn't have love or empathy, that child has a very high chance of being a narcissist. I was brought up by a mother narcissist, and when you're a young child, before the age of 7, basically, your programming is set. But all I saw, for example, was my mother's behavior. My dad was very quiet. He just, there was no communication with him. So most of my example of being an adult came from my mother. And I practiced this narcissism stuff because when this is all you've learned from the caregiver, from the parent, whoever brought you up, you don't know any different. So I tried it. I was a mean little kid, but it just didn't seem to fit. So I chose not to be a narcissist. It actually is a choice. A child makes a choice. Well, I'm just not going to put up with anything I've tolerated. If it's abuse, sexual abuse, or it's just lack of love, that child can actually make a decision. I am not going to care about anybody else. And like, I've made this decision. I could have grown up to be a narcissist, but I chose not to. And I became a very empathetic, codependent victim of many narcissists. And there's on the other hand, there's the golden child. Now this is a child that is overly praised by their parent or parents. They're put on pedestals. They're told there's nothing they cannot do. They're smarter and better looking than everybody else, and everybody else is below them. Now this programming that goes into a young child's mind, this is what makes the personality of the individual in the first 6 to 7 years. This is pretty well who they are. So a child can also be a narcissist if they're taught that they're superior to others. And we basically know the consequences because they don't love, they don't have empathy. They've never matured past 5, 6 years old. They appear when they get older to be adults because they're just what they've seen adults talk like, behave like, and a lot of them could be just getting most of this knowledge how an adult behaves through television, and they are really tiny, immature little kids who have no empathy, no capacity to love, and they're putting on an act from what they see. They see an adult and they copy the adult, and this is what they're acting. But they are little tiny kids, especially if you see one take a temper tantrum, and you're just like a little 2-year-old kid. They haven't gone past this point, and because they do have an envy for people that do have love and empathy. They have concern for others. They do get jealous of this in individuals. They will go to these people that have empathy, that have loving, most particularly the codependent who is excessively loving and caring, and they just want to destroy this person because they cannot tolerate the fact that this other human being, they don't even look at people as humans, they look at them as things, objects to be used, and they just take advantage of people and try to destroy everything about them. Now, this is just basically a review on what narcissism is. Like over time, we all learn. If we're in a learning state, we continue to learn more and more about narcissistic personality disorder and other narcissistic disorders also. Now, I've spent a couple of years at it, and it's pretty well a daily thing that I keep brushed up on it, and it becomes a second nature where it's so simple to spot the typical narcissists because they all use the same type of con, the way they try to suck you in, and I have been sucked in by many of them. Married to 3 narcissist wives, having a narcissistic mother, being friends with male narcissists who've done damage to me over the years, and it made a mess of me. But those of us who have recovered from it, we've spent every day after the separation from this narcissist learning about this individual who really isn't human because they have no human nature about them. They have nothing that is human as far as emotions go, love, empathy, concern for others. And if we keep it up, we do get over it, and it does make us a much stronger person for it. And I thank you guys for listening. I just wanted to go over this narcissism stuff, and subscribe and like and share, and I'll speak to you again on the next video. And thank you guys for listening. Bye for now.